Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Daze and welcome to this unplanned Wyatt 6 video. We were going to do an unseen video where we just sort of talk about all the things going on in WWE. But there's been a few, I think, interesting developments here in regards to a couple of topics to do with Wyatt 6. One of them is an updated Fightful Select report, which we can obviously touch on. And I saw this as I was digging a little bit deeper. I went to Sean Ross Sapp's Twitter account and I saw that he had retweeted this, and it is an excellent piece of work. It is a brilliant piece of work, and I think this is a thread that people really need to see, need to be aware of, because there's a lot of people out there adamant that certain people were caught up in this attack, right? And this thread hopefully is going to bring some clarity to that. So here's Christina, who said everyone besides Gable were crew members, producers, or security. You did not see Carmelo, Seth, Ludwig, Gunther, Braun, Triple H, Damo, Erick, etc. Right? And we've got a bit of a thread. It's excellent work. Like investigation work on a different level here. So Christina said the person that people thought was Braun, Triple H, or Damo is actually this guy, right? I didn't get to screenshot it, but he did also repost this video of Triple H from the post show at Clash at the Castle. It was really funny, actually, because someone, I don't know how he got on the subject, but security came up. And Triple H said, I don't know if you've noticed, but those security guards we use, they always go on to make the best professional wrestlers. Because, of course, they use a lot of enhancement talent and people like that. So apparently this guy reposted that clip, which obviously suggests that he is used as a security guard and things like that by WWE. And it's the tattoo, isn't it? I mean, you can see the tattoo on the arm there. You can see that it matches on the arm of this dude as well. So that's perfect, right? That's absolutely what I was looking for. That's the person that people thought was Braun or was Damo, who is Nikki's partner. Some thought it might be Triple H, right? But yeah, I don't know this dude's name, but I'm very satisfied that it is this guy, right? So love that. I think that's a brilliant bit of investigation work. In regards to Bronson confirming it's Braun, right? Talent are not clued into everything. Also, Bronson didn't really confirm anything. This was another misconception. Bronson said, so my opponents are dead, question mark, question mark, question mark. Like, he's asking the question. Like, did they get my opponents? This is what the internet is saying, right? So my opponents are dead. Because that's what everyone was saying. Oh my God, they've got Gable, they've got Braun, they've got, you know what I mean? So that's why he put that post out. I don't think he's coming from a place of knowledge. I agree completely with Christina here. In regards to Bronson confirming that it was Braun, talent are not clued into everything that happens. That's true, because otherwise things would leak out a lot more. They sometimes find out along with us. It's likely that he watched or saw everyone online and he jumped in jokingly. Completely agree. Completely agree. Christina again said, I have yet to identify who this person is, but you can tell it's definitely not Carmelo or Seth. It's clearly a white man, so it's not Melo. Melo also confirmed that he's alive, albeit a different person. It's not Seth, since his hair wasn't in braids. And he wasn't wearing that outfit. Now, he could have changed his outfit, but I agree. I don't see this person slumped down there. I don't see that as Seth Rollins. I don't look at that person and see Seth. So I agree. He could have changed his outfit. That's not really enough to rule it out. But that ain't Seth. And it's right. I mean, when we saw him, he wasn't wearing that. And then, obviously, we had Carmelo as well. Here, Mr. J said, this you. Carmelo went, nope. But are they dead? Question mark. So I don't think that's Seth as well. I think Carmelo has ruled himself out. I think that that people have kind of used as a bit of an indicator. I completely agree with what Christina has said. I agree that that guy is that guy. This is a fantastic thread. You can see why Sean has retweeted this. It's very unlikely that this is Gunther or Ludwig, like people have speculated. Ludwig posted on IG after this occurred, and he was wearing a short sleeve black shirt last night, not a long sleeve. Gunther has yet to post, but he hasn't been on TV since late May. So, again, you know, it's one of those where that's all people are going off, right? Now, that could turn out to be Gunther, right? It could turn out to be Gunther, but all we're going off is just this here, right? We're literally just going off that. And because of the lighting, because of the angles, because of, like, Gunther wasn't even on the show. He's not even been around. So, like, I agree. It doesn't really make much sense, Gunther being attacked. And it doesn't really make much sense for them to not make it more obvious. You know, there's been no communication that Gunther has been attacked. There's, you know, you would think that they would put out some sort of statement. They would, you know, bring some clarity to this. I think they executed it really well on Monday night, but I think the follow-up for it has been a bit poor. The support around it, not them, but the support around it I think it's been poor. Like, I feel like we definitely should have been given an update on who was attacked, how they're doing. Like, I mean, we're viewers and we witnessed something horrific at the end of Raw. Like, you would imagine the company would want to kind of bring everyone up to speed with the situation. So, I do agree. Like, that side of it has been poor. But that's, you know, they can't do everything. Rob Fee and Bo can't do everything. I mean, I don't know. Do you kind of blame Triple H a little bit for that? Gable is the only person that we get a clear close-up face shot of because he's the only wrestler that was attacked. It is true as well that actually in the description of the YouTube video, it's only Chad Gable that gets mentioned. The people that write the description of the YouTube video, they haven't named anyone else. And his was the only one that was teased as well. Like, Chad Gable was the one we expected to run into a bit of trouble. There's been no indication of Gunther or them going after Gunther. Even the empathy post or journal entry seems to connect to Chad Gable. But I don't remember seeing anything or any theories even that connect to Gunther. So I agree. I just agree with this whole thread. I would also like to point out that if any of these people are supposed to be Seth, Braun, or Ludwig, we've already seen in attendance earlier in the show, why would they later be presented in different outfits when Gable is still in his gear from earlier? That's an interesting point, isn't it? God, look, Christina's killed it, man. It wouldn't make sense for ease of recognition to change their outfits, especially Braun, since he had just run out into the arena. Yeah, I mean, you can ignore the Braun one. I mean, I think we even have identified who that is. I think, well, Christina has. And Chase Judgment Day like 5-10 minutes prior. Yeah, I'm not that one. This is the only one in it. This is the only one, but Gunther wasn't around on the show, and Ludwig was wearing something different. So that's the one that you could kind of go with a little bit. I think these two people had not stood out with one being in a suit with blood on the wall and the other with no shirt, and they had wore all black like the others, then you wouldn't try to guess or identify them. So Christina's saying that if these weren't in such a prominent position, I feel like you can see very clearly, surely that is not Seth, right? And you can see very clearly, surely this isn't Braun, right? So I feel like hopefully these kind of images will clear this up, right? The only one to me is that one is this potential Gunther-esque looking person, but it just looks like it could be anybody that they've brought in. I'm excited to see where it goes. I wish Toe Baylor, blah, 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 all the same, right? So I thought that was excellent, right? So that's Christina. That was retweeted by Sean Ross Sapp. And then we've got this folder for us to kind of dig into, right? So there's not loads in here. To be honest, it was that Christina post and what Fightful Select have reported that made me want to do this video. So here we've got the group has not been officially named on WWE TV, and that's sort of true. We haven't had like a graphic showing their name, or they've not had an announcement. But we did get their logo, and it does say, like, Wyatt 6. And you can get merch that says Wyatt 6. So if it's anything other than Wyatt 6, I think all of us are going to be shocked. So I believe it's going to be Wyatt 6. But it is true. They haven't named them, right? The other thing as well, and this is more interesting, is they haven't named the characters. They haven't named the characters. And I don't know about you, I just sort of presumed it would be Dexter, it would be Joe Gacy, it would be Erick Rowan, you know. I sort of presumed we'd just go with those names. But it's true, I mean, they are different characters. I mean, Erick Rowan has got a rabbit head on. I mean, he is basically a Rambling Rabbit. You know, do we now call him Rambling Rowan? I just don't know. I mean, Nikki Cross is Abby the Witch, so is she Abby? Is she Nikki the Witch? Is she Abby Cross? I don't know. I don't know what we call her. I don't know what we call Dexter Lumis. Is he Mercy Lumis? Is he Dexter the Buzzard? I don't know. Or do we just go with completely different names? So what this article said is they've not named the members outside of Uncle Howdy. We're told this is by design. So there could be some interesting name reveals that we've got coming up, right? This is where things get confused. And I know we spent quite a bit of time looking at that Christina post, right? And I really agree with everything she said. But I'm going to read this next bit now, right? And this was clearly only added today on Fightful Select because they talk about a Raw Talk interview that happened after Raw. So it was clearly only added today. So here, the group has already been acknowledged on WWE programming by Jey Uso. That was Raw Talk, right? Which we're told will continue. Even though the group isn't likely to interact with every program on Raw, it's expected within the company that the ramifications will be widespread across various programs. Now, when they say various programs, I think they mean various storylines. I don't think they mean Raw, NXT, SmackDown. I think they're talking program in the sense of Sammy and Chad have just worked a program. Liv and Dom are currently working a program. It's another way of saying feud storyline, right? Just to bring some clarity to that. That's how I'm reading it, right? It says there'll be a domino effect on stories that are happening up and down the show. So again, just to reinforce, it doesn't say shows. It says the show. And obviously it talks about Raw. So that kind of feels like that's probably where they're going to be based. I've had a lot of people asking, will they rock up on SmackDown? I am not expecting anything. I think that this group are probably on Raw. There's a chance we get a QR codes or something that just lets us know, see you Monday, something along those lines. I said, I think it was during the NXT stream, I remember that when Bray debuted, or returned, sorry, at Extreme Rules, I think that was on the Sunday. On the Monday, Raw, we got a QR codes. And when you scanned it, if my memory serves me right, it was one of those puzzles where you move the pieces, right? And you have to keep like moving the blocks to create the picture. When you created the picture, it was the Bray logo and it was some letters. And if you looked at those letters and their place in the alphabet, then you got some numbers, right? And those numbers basically pointed you to SmackDown that week. It was the date of SmackDown. That's what it ultimately led you to. So it was just a fun way, a cryptic way of saying, see you Friday, right? And we got that on the Raw after Bray had returned. So it wouldn't surprise me if on Friday we get something similar that just lets us know, yeah, they're not going to be around tonight, but they will see you again on Monday. right? So there's a chance of that, but I'm not expecting them to be on the show. They could still be on the show, but I'm not expecting them to be on the show. So this is saying about how they're going to be on Raw. They're going to like cause carnage. That is going to mess up a few stories on purpose. There's going to be ramifications felt in a few stories. And it says like that's going to hit like a domino effect. This is the bit that I think's confusing, right? Focus. Those we spoke to said that the wide array of talent and people attacked in the story and the characters who left before the show were calculated, planned, and designed for specific reasons. What? What? Because what? I mean, that says those that we spoke to said that a wide array of talent and people that were attacked in the story. Well, we've only had Monday. That's the only thing we've had so far. Monday, the massacre. And the characters that left before the show were calculated, planned, and designed for a specific reason. That sort of suggests that there were talent that was attacked, doesn't it? That sort of suggests that there was talent attacked, but I'm still of the opinion that it was only Chad. It doesn't go into any more detail than that. That's literally all it says. And the characters who left before the show, well, who left before the show? When they say the show, do they mean the massacre? Like the show, the spectacle? Those that left before, it was calculated, planned, and designed for specific reasons. Honestly, it's one step forward, two steps back sometimes, isn't it? Perhaps I'm just reading it wrong. Perhaps you're all shouting at the screen going, no, you're not. It's not going in correctly. But it's not. I mean, that really does seem to me like they're saying that there was an array of talent and people that got attacked in the story. We've only so far had, unless you include Nightbird, but who was attacked during Nightbird? No one was attacked during Nightbird. There was no talent attack during Nightbirds. We haven't been kidnapping LA Knight or anything, have we? So, there's not going to be any supernatural elements. We know about that. The Wyatt group was not listed on rundowns, but there were hints about it in the QR codes. We know that. As the main event happened, they set up the door and everything. They couldn't really help that. It was a bit strange, wasn't it? Because they had what looked to be a bit of a platform in the crowds. We never used it. There was like this black area in the crowds, which looks strange because normally you just have seats there. And it really felt like that was ready to be used for the end. And we never used it. So that was a bit weird. But it says they had to set the stuff up, the door and everything, whilst the main event was going on. But it was fine. They were happy with how it went. And it says WWE sources that Fightful spoke to are over the moon with the crowd reaction from Corpus Christi. Production, buzz, feedback, everything to do with the segment. They were very happy with how it worked out. So there we go. That is obviously a bit confusing, but well, listen. I mean, all I can say is that's the latest that I've read. That's where I've got it from. That's what I've read. That's what I'm aware of. That's it, right? So I think we've kind of touched and boxed off a few of the talking points there. What we can do now is just kind of go through these bits. This is a folder here that's got a few other fun bits and other thoughts and whatever. What I want to do is obviously Tuesday was just so many people wanting to share their thoughts. My notifications is just, I mean, it's just a dumpster fire. I mean, trying to get through it. I mean, I scrolled and scrolled and scrolled and scrolled and scrolled and scrolled. I just scrolled for ages and I'd only gone back 2 hours. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a post up and I'm going to say, What theories have you got that we've not spoke about? Yeah, what are the best thoughts and theories that you've got right now? I'd lean more towards the theories, like, did you notice this type stuff, right? Because I think if we go down the thoughts road, I would imagine that will once again become very overwhelming. So I think that I would lean more towards the theories of, like, actually connecting things that hopefully we've got some images of. I would try and kind of go down that road, because I would imagine everyone's got like a million thoughts. I just don't think we'd get to all of those at the moment. So I'm going to put that post out after this, and I think we'll look to do that video over the next couple of days, and that should hopefully clean up a few things. Right, here's William. He said, I think the help on the mallet that Rowan's got is meant to represent the help sign that Ramblin' Rabbit would show. And as for the personality of Erick, I think it's going to be more that he'll be played as like a disturbed persona. That mentality of sick, which brings in all the psychological aspects we've had so far. So, William, shout out to you. Here's Indie Wrestling, Indie Hartwell. She is obviously married to Dexter Lumis, and she posted this divorce $99 sign. So she is seriously contemplating divorce after what went down. I mean, I think that's a bad move. I think that if you've got someone like that, you might want to keep them closer rather than pushing them away, because you might find yourself on a victim list, right? So, Kojiko, shout out to you. Daz Asta said, don't know if you've seen it, but if you go back and look, not only did this have, obviously, the Harper mask on, which everyone has pointed out, but it has the old Wyatt family logo on as well, which, to be perfectly honest with you, I hadn't noticed. I think I was so fixated on this and the help. And to be honest, it's not the easiest to see, but it is the old Wyatt family logo, which is really cool on the back of Rowan. Love that. This was Nikki Cross, and this was really interesting because she posted these images and said, did you meet my new family yet? Full circle. This was 11 hours ago, and she's included the rocking chair. So the Massacre, the family, her, and the rocking chair. And people have looked at that and gone, so the sixth person, is it Bray? And, you know, I don't have a very strong feeling on this, because I feel like Alexa is coming into the group, but she may not be part of the Wyatt Six. Like, she, I think, will have a character that Bray has helped develop, right? That's the rumor. And it might be that she comes in and works with this group. But she obviously has got the ability to go off and be on her own. I mean, we saw her doing that when she was Playground Alexa, and you know, Bray was away. She was doing the Playground stuff. She was doing all of that. She had Lily. She was kind of on her own, and she was, you know, fully embracing the character. It wouldn't surprise me if we sort of do something like that again, put her on SmackDown, maybe away from the group, and she could be on a different brand. Maybe then she's not part of the Wyatt Six. Maybe then the sixth person is Bray. Or equally, she will be part of the Wyatt Six, and Bray isn't one of the six, but he's all of them. Perhaps that's part of it. Perhaps I am none of them, I am all of them. Bray is going to be within every single one of these people, because they are now all his creation. They are playing his characters. So he is all of them. So I wonder if he's not one of the six, because he is all of them. Just a thought. So, yeah, that definitely got people. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. I don't care. I don't care if Bray is the sixth or if Alexa is the sixth. It makes no difference. I don't know which way they will end up going, but it's likely to be one of them that's going to be that sixth person. And some people think it's Bray. Some people think it'll be Alexa. Right here, Ryan Satin said, this is Dllas backstage, remembering that he was beefing with Joe Gacy not that long ago, looking a bit concerned, like. And Dijak said, I definitely lost my mind and I got brainwashed into joining a masked cult about 4 years too early. He obviously joined Retribution and it didn't go very well. I think he would very much enjoy being a part of this group. I think he would very much enjoy being a part of this. Because think of the opportunities this group's going to have. Think of the TV time. Think of the push and the merch and all of that stuff. So I could imagine him like, damn, I ended up joining Retribution when I should have been joining these guys. So there we go. I joined about 4 years too early. So that was good. Adam said Otis realizing that everyone thinks that it's Wyatt 6 that killed Gable. So there he is, look, with laughing his head off. Did he? Was it Otis that got to Chad Gable before Uncle Howdy did? And now everyone thinks it's Howdy, but actually it was Otis that finally snapped. That would be quite the swerve, wouldn't it? I don't think so. I think it is going to turn out to be Uncle Howdy, but it would be quite the swerve. So NVR, NDS, shout out to you, my friends. Appreciate it. John said, did you notice the mouth on Huskus's gas mask has also got a red circle on? And that's really well spotted, that is. These red circles are popping up everywhere. So, John, well done. True. There's one, as we know, on the top of Howdy's hat. And yeah, there appears to be one around the mouth of Huskus, just around there. Look at this. R-Truth. All jokes aside, who did this? So there we go. We've got Nikki. We've got Joe Gacy. We've got Dexter. That's Dexter. That's Erick Rowan. That's Bo. And then there's R-Truth. He thought he was in the Judgment Day. He's actually the 6th person in the Wyatt 6. So very, very good. Ryan said, I hope Taylor lets him do it just once. Very good. Very good. Right, this is Mika Rotunda. This is Mika Rotunda, and this is Bray and Bo's sister. So this is obviously going to be very touching. Let me see if I can just bring it on screen so we can fit it on. Lovely. So here, it's quite small, but Mika says, Wyndham talked a lot about hurting in his character. He would describe real-life pain and scenarios as a way to kind of harden, inspire, or shape his future. He turned pain into a positive through creativity and expression. Last night, Taylor debuted for the first time as Uncle Howdy without Wyndham. This was their dream, their vision, their fairy tale to fulfill. He carried this on his back, but more importantly, in his heart. As siblings, we've always had a strong cord attachment to one another. As the lights went out in the arena and I watched on my TV, my pulse raised, my eyes welled. I felt every iota with him, while also feeling this warmth that can only be described as Wyndham. I'm so incredibly proud of Taylor. Honouring the memory of a Wyndham or a loved one whilst navigating the path of grief is a profound and personal journey. Our family has been on a stage with the outside world to see inside it since 3:33 p.m. on August 24th. A moment in time we as a family will never get past or over. But somehow we have to find a way through it. That's amazing that she knows the exact time, but of course she would. How does one do that? In my opinion, it's in our day-to-day lives and creating ways to celebrate their life and legacy, even as we cope with the pain of their absence. For Wyndham, it's in storytelling. He was the greatest storyteller I've ever known. And as we embrace the moments of sorrow, there is a duty to uphold, to keep finding ways to express his madness and genius. In doing so, it is a testament from our family about the depth of his love and our love for him. Upholding Wyndham's homage can be a source of comfort and strength. We hurt, we heal. In doing so, we keep their spirit alive and find solace in the impact they had on our lives. Also, massive, gigantic, and amazing praise to Rob Fee and Jason Baker for doing the alchemy behind the scenes. Unreal, you guys are. Wyndham, wish you were here. Love you more. So there we go. That was Bray's sister. That was Bo and Bray's sister just talking very beautifully about what this moment meant to her and to the family. And hit you in the feels, and it's certainly this bit here. Our family has been on a stage with the outside world to see inside it since 3:33 p.m. on August 24th. A moment in time we as a family will never get past or over. Right, Luke said, read the comments. So this is Carrion. So Carrion Cross has put a little thing out. Let's see what he's got to say. He said, I hope this doesn't come off as insensitive, but I'm really happy about everything that happened yesterday. It's important to welcome strangers without preconceived notions and accept them for who they are authentically. Have a lovely day, right? So that's what Carrion had to say. Here's Real Steel. He said, everyone also saw how Kofi kept talking for Xavier. He's almost ready, and there's Carrion with eyes emoji. We know that that's a bit of a story there. The New Day, could they end up splitting thanks to the pressure that Carrion is applying? Goat said, Cross, they busted a cap in Chad Gable's head. Carrion said that wouldn't stop the leader of Alpha Academy. Here's Kate said, even if they're killing folks, what, we should still welcome them even if they're killing folk? Carrion, yes. Kofi Kingston, the most selfish man in all of wrestling. Carrion said 100%. He's an absolute lunatic. Tyree said, hopefully they can come for you guys next. Carrion said, I think they're coming for your mother next. Man, if they do, that'll be the best. That'll be the best. So there we go. That was Carrion. Ads said, by the way, did anyone else or just me notice the red and blue squares? Does this represent both Raw and SmackDown? Will Wyatt 6 be on SmackDown too? So this is an interesting one, and we spoke about this during the NXT stream, that actually red and blue are colours that we've seen with Bray before. This was a big talking point when Bray came back on SmackDown, and there was red and blue lights in the background, and people were coming up with all sorts of theories, like when he was in the blue light, he was gentler. When he was in the red light, he would get more angry. I don't know that that ever really played out that way, but these were just some of the thoughts and the theories. So it's interesting how red and blue, we have seen those colors previously. I think the general accepted rule was that just backstage on SmackDown, they used red and blue lights. And so, like, you know, it just didn't really turn out to be anything. So this sort of feels a bit similar, to be honest. This sort of feels a bit similar. That I don't think I think it's a great spot, right? I think Ads has done brilliant to spot this, but it just reminds me back to us having this conversation before, back in like 2022 when Bray returned, and like red and blue lights you can see in the background during his promos, and these were the same thoughts then, and it didn't lead anywhere. So as a result, I'm gonna say I think they're going to be based on Raw, and we may get the odd little something on SmackDown, certainly this week, where they maybe put a QR code to point us back to Raw. But I don't think they'll do both shows. I don't think they'll work both shows. I think that they'll be predominantly Raw, personally, but it's interesting. It's definitely food for thought. Right, this was Rowan. I don't really get this, to be honest. I don't quite understand. This was 12 hours ago from Rowan. He says hell. He doesn't even, he says HEL star. So, I mean, of course, that makes me think hello. I mean, I wonder why he did that. I wonder why he didn't do HELL and then star out the O. I wonder why he only did one L. I don't know. I don't know what this is. I don't know what this means. It just seems to be flashing, and I'm a little bit worried I might, like, you know, start having a fit or something. Like, it's just 12 seconds long. It just keeps looping. A bit freaky, isn't it, really? I don't know if I'm being hypnotized. So, yeah, I'm not too sure. Cryptic from Erick Rowan. So, James, thank you. And then this was the article that led me to the Fight for Select one. So, Corey, shout out to you. And as I said, I mean, if I go through my notifications, there's just absolutely loads of people sharing their thoughts and different theories. I think it's probably better to just put a post up and just gather it all in one place. And then we can do a video tomorrow. I really would try to just make it as juicy as you can, in the sense of, have we got anything concrete, right? Or have you got a thought that you just are absolutely adamant, like, no one's talking about this, people need to be aware of this? I think if you've got like a bit of doubt about it, I would say just park it for now. Definitely am still interested, but I just know that if we put that post up, it's going to get like 200, 300 responses, and I just don't know that we'll ever get through them. So I'm really looking for that kind of the burning urgent stuff that it's like, why is no one talking about this? So we'll put that up as well. So there we go, an unplanned Wyatt 6 video, but a few interesting bits there for us to touch on. Thank you for all the support as always. We're not going anywhere. I know that Nightbird has finished, but I mean, look at where we are now, right? And I did say during the NXT stream, I really feel like there's a piece of work that needs to be done now where we go back and we look through the QR codes and we try and match up things from the QR codes with all of this. Was a wave of information that we received here. So like all of those things in the static, we need to have a look and see, like, how do they match up with what we now know? You know, is this the bride? I mean, I think most people are saying it is. Right, the general consensus is that that is the bride. And actually, I should have a poll somewhere. I should have a poll, which I did. Obviously, we got some merch. There's the circle on the hat. A lot of this we covered in that video that just went whizzing past. That was good. We covered that in that video. There's a moment where someone's seen sort of peering around the corner. Can't really establish as to who it is. Some good pictures. I want the polls. That's what I'm after. Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of stuff that was doing the rounds. Like, look at this. These are all the people that allegedly got attacked. And it's like, I really, no. Where is the polls? We have tweeted a lot. There we go. Oh, and they've ended as well, so that's great. So we had 1,700 votes and 77% say it's Nikki that's the bride. 20% think that it's Alexa. 2% think someone else, but Nikki overwhelmingly in the lead now as to who is the bride. In regards to what did you think of it? 2,700 votes, right? 1% bad, 1% good, 4% great, 94% amazing, the top option. I mean, you will never get 100% in wrestling. It's too divisive. Like, there's so many different opinions. So to get 94% people saying no, not that it was good or acceptable, but 94% like amazing, it blew my mind type range. Man, they must be absolutely over the moon. Over the moon. And here's a fun picture of me picking Huskus's nose. Gregor, thank you. And on that bombshell, thanks a lot for watching. Appreciate the support. I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.